Your cat is staring at the wall again. Its ears twist forward, muscles tensed beneath the fur. You look at the blank plaster and see nothing. No bug, no shadow, no dust fleck. You might think it is just another one of those cat mysteries, but the real reason is far stranger than you imagine, and it has nothing to do with ghosts or restless spirits. It has everything to do with a sound you will never hear. Inside your walls right now, a tiny creature is breathing. It shifts its weight from one foot to the other. It gnaws a piece of old wire, grinding down its ever-growing incisors. It whispers to its kin in a voice pitched beyond human silence. Your cat hears every single whisper. It is not simply hearing noise. It is interpreting an entire world hidden from your species. Why can a housecat, generations removed from the hunt, detect a mouse sealed inside a wall? The answer is written into its anatomy by millions of years of evolution. The domestic cat descended from a small wild feline called Felis sylvestris libica. That ancestor lived and died by one skill, finding tiny prey before it fled. Over immense stretches of time, natural selection refined the cat into a walking sensory array. And the centerpiece of that array is the ear. The cat's ear is not just a sensitive microphone. It is a precision instrument unmatched in the mammalian world for its specific purpose. Start with the muscles. A human ear has 6 muscles controlling its limited movements. A cat's ear has 32. These muscles tug the outer ear, the pinna, in multiple directions. Each pinna can rotate independently like a small furry satellite dish. The range of motion can cover up to 180 degrees. Your cat can aim its left ear at the wall and its right ear at the hallway behind it. The two signals are combined in the brainstem with stunning speed. But muscle count is not the secret behind the endless wall stare. The deeper secret is frequency. A healthy young human can hear sounds up to about 20,000 hertz. As you age, that ceiling drops. A middle-aged adult might perceive nothing above 15,000 hertz. A cat, even an elderly cat, can detect frequencies up to 64,000 hertz. That is more than 3 times the upper boundary of human hearing. And inside that ultrasonic band hides a complete soundscape. The mouse in your wall is not a silent ghost. It is a loudspeaker of ultrasonic information. Its claws scraping wood create harmonics that dance between 30,000 and 50,000 hertz. Its incisors scraping wire produce a high-frequency squeal that courses through insulation. Its rapid heartbeat, tiny as it is, sends pressure waves through the air cavity inside the wall. All of it is invisible to your ears. All of it is plainly audible to your cat. But your cat is not only hearing mechanical noise, it is eavesdropping on actual communication. A biologist named Dr. Jane Hertz, who led the Mammalian Behavior and Evolution Group at the University of Liverpool, spent her career listening to mice. She and her team discovered something astonishing. Mice do not simply squeak. They sing elaborate songs in the ultrasonic range. These are structured, repeated sequences of distinct syllable types. Males use them to court females. Pups use them to call their mothers when they are cold or lost. Different colonies even have different dialects. It is a rich social language operating entirely above the threshold of human hearing, but not above the threshold of a cat. Your cat is listening in on conversations you will never know are taking place. To understand how a cat can hear these nuances, you must travel deeper into the skull. Inside the inner ear sits the cochlea. This spiral-shaped organ is lined with thousands of tiny hair cells. Different hair cells are tuned to different frequencies, like keys on a piano. Veterinary neurologist Dr. George Strain at Louisiana State University has compared cochlear anatomy across many species. He found that the feline cochlea is wound more tightly than the human cochlea. It also contains an enlarged section packed with hair cells sensitive specifically to very high frequencies. In essence, your cat's inner ear has a built-in mouse whistle detector. This is not coincidence. It is the physical signature of a deep predator-prey arms race. Mice evolved to communicate in frequencies that travel poorly and dissipate quickly, reducing eavesdropping. Cats evolved a cochlea tuned exactly to capture those fleeting frequencies anyway. The chase moved into a part of the spectrum your species never entered. But the story does not end in the ear. It continues directly into the brain. In the 1950s, neuroscientists Jerzy Rose, Robert Galambos, and John Hughes placed tiny electrodes into the auditory cortex of living cats. They played pure tones across the entire hearing range and recorded which neurons fired. They found a detailed map of frequency sensitivity. Certain neurons fired only when the tone was around 60,000 hertz. Other neurons remained silent unless the frequency matched specific ultrasonic bands. The cat's brain literally possessed neural circuits dedicated to the sounds of a mouse. Evolution carved out a specific set of brain cells, generation after generation, to hear a rustling rodent. A cat that missed a high-frequency whisper was a dead end. The cat that answered it lived another season and passed on those blueprints. But hearing a sound is useless without knowing its location. And this is where the cat's auditory system performs a second miracle. A mouse scrabbling inside a wall does not produce a clean, direct sound. The noise zigzags through wooden studs, layers of drywall, and pockets of still air. It becomes a scrambled puzzle of echoes and delays. A human listener hears a vague, muffled scratch and guesses the direction with little accuracy. A cat's brain solves that puzzle in microseconds. The key is the time difference between the two ears. Because the sound hits one pinna a fraction of a millisecond sooner, the brain computes the angular position. Then it cross-references with tiny head movements to refine the distance. Dr. Henry Hefner, a comparative neuroscientist, quantified this ability in the 1980s. His experiments showed that cats can localize a sound with an accuracy of about 5 degrees. That is roughly the visual width of your thumb at arm's length. For comparison, a barn owl can localize within 1 degree, but it has a facial disc and asymmetrical ears. The cat achieves 5 degrees without those extreme adaptations. It is a computational tour de force running on biological wetware. Here's the twist that changes how you see that wall stare. Your cat is not confused by the drywall. It is not frustrated because the mouse is invisible. To a cat's auditory brain, the wall is not a solid barrier. It is merely a visual obstruction. Sound passes through with some distortion, but enough information survives. The cat's brain automatically compensates for the muffling. It subtracts the wall's effect in the same way your own eyes adjust to seeing underwater. What your cat perceives is something close to an auditory X-ray. It constructs a rough mental image of the rodent behind the plaster. It recognizes the mouse's size from the amplitude of its footsteps. It deduces the mouse's state from the cadence of its movements. A sudden acceleration might signal alarm. A slow, steady scrape might signal feeding. Your cat is watching a silent shadow play on a screen you cannot access. Your cat might hold that vigil for minutes or even an hour. This also explains why your cat sometimes stares at walls even when no mouse is present. The feline ear is so sensitive that it picks up sounds you casually dismiss as absolute silence. The expansion and contraction of pipes create faint, high-frequency clicks. Electrical wiring emits a steady ultrasonic hum. The house is never truly quiet. It is only quiet to you. Every wall is alive with the subtle music of a building's interior life. When your cat stares at a blank spot, it might be tracking a sound you cannot even begin to imagine. What does this mean for the animal curled on your bed right now? It means your cat lives in a dual reality. There's the comfortable world of ceramic bowls and sun-warmed pillows, and there is the ancestral world of sonic hunting, never switched off. Even a cat that has never seen a real mouse remains biologically obsessed with the sounds a mouse would make. This is not a hobby or a passing curiosity. It is the drumbeat beneath its entire existence. Your cat can be asleep in a deep coil one instant. The next instant, its ears snap to attention and its eyes lock onto the baseboard. Something happened in the wall, something you completely missed. That rapid shift from sleep to full alert is not just a luxury of laziness. It is a vital ancient reflex. In the ancestral wilds, a missed sound meant a missed meal. A missed meal meant eventual starvation. The cost was so high that cats never fully disconnect from their sound environment. They sleep with one ear always half open, in a state of vigilant rest. The next time you see your cat staring at a blank wall, do not laugh it off as a silly quirk. Do not wave your hand in front of its face to test its consciousness. Recognize that you are witnessing a profound connection to a world you are physically locked out of. That wall is a curtain. And behind that curtain, a drama unfolds in frequencies your brain never evolved to process. Your cat is not staring at nothing. It is staring through solid matter at a whisper of life. It is staring at a shadow cast in sound. It is staring at the one thing its entire body was built to detect, a tiny, warm, beating promise sealed inside the bones of your house. If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe to our channel. There's much more to discover.